Yo, chat, what's up? I don't know why my intro song's not working properly, but we're just gonna play it right off YouTube. Run it.
This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and imitates, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode. This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and imitates, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode.
Yes, sir. What's up, chat? Who's all in here? Pop out the chat. We're gonna get to. We're gonna cross the. We're gonna cross the 700 LeetCode solved mark. We just need to finish about 7 questions, and we'll cross it. Honestly, I can tell there's a lot of AIs and bots these days running like on LeetCode because I used to be ranked like top 50, like top 50K or something for solving this many questions, but now there's 80,000 people, there's 79,000 more people, 79,000 people who solve more questions than me. That's actually crazy. Why don't you use C list? Oh, I never heard of C list. I use zero track. I use zero track. I can take a look. Never heard of this before. Thanks for showing me though. How do you use this? Oh, okay, I see, I see. I'm trying to be a competitive programmer, so I need to be on this. So where do you look? How do you look through this, coders? Oh, Code Chef. I never tried that before. So how do I navigate this? Then what? You completed 900? Congrats, man. You're a beast. Nice. That's sick, man. And you're attending all the contests. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Solve more hards. You should set your goal in LeetCode to like hit a certain contest rating by the end of 2026. My goal is to try to get to like 2000 rating. Let me grab my water. Give me a sec. And then let's just get straight into some LeetCode. I did decently in the last couple contests, even though it was lagging like crazy. So bi-weekly contest 173, I solved 3 questions. Still got ranked pretty low, 5,709. And then this one I only solved 2 but got ranked 5,300. So I think my rating should go up at least like 20 points. But we're gonna grind some questions today. I'll look at this later. Yeah. Pluto, I posted my live attempt on it, and you could see like my thought process. I'll show you. If you look at my videos, I posted my live attempt. Honestly, I just came up with a random intuition, then I went for it and it worked. Yeah, take a look. I'm gonna send this over in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I don't care about rating or what anyone else like how anyone else is doing on the lead code contest. I'm just focused on myself and if I can hit like at least 3 out of 4 questions, and I want to by the end of the year be able to get 4 out of 4 questions on average, or at least over 3 on average. So that's sort of my goal. I don't really care about like all the cheaters because eventually they're gonna get caught. But yeah, like if I'm just gonna focus on myself, and then wherever my rating ends, it's gonna end. I'm not really worried about that. Because I do know there's gaps in my game already. When I try to do the contest, there's times I flop it. And also, everyone, what do you think about my 2026 goals? I just dropped a video on that. Okay, let's get to work actually, though. What's SDET? Software Development Engineer and Test to SDE? It really all depends on what you're actually doing day to day, like what your experience is. If you're actually coding, I haven't seen too many people make the transition, but anything's possible because it's adjacent. A lot of people get paid really well just doing SDET, so they stick to it. But dude, I've seen people switch from anything into software engineering, even these days. Grab my water. No problem, man. All right, what is this question? No, let's do some warm up and then we're gonna get to it. We'll warm up at like right under my elo, 1500 to 1600, and then in the last few we're gonna do above my elo. There's an echo. How's everyone doing today, though? Dude, I'm trying to get a badge like knight. I want to be a knight or something on LeetCode. Raccoon, what up? Nice to see you, man. It's been a minute. We're gonna get to 700. What's UTO? Unpaid time off? Unlimited time off. Why? What's happening? You're switching roles? Well, I did this one. How is this only 1500, 1600 elo? It's a hard question. Maximum strength of a group. I did a lot of these, I feel. Okay. The thing is, it's making me log in to C list, and I don't want to log in right now. I don't want to work through that. All right. We set timer. We put 20 minutes a question. Let's go. You're given a zero index integer array nums representing the score of students in an exam. Your teacher would like to form one non-empty group of students with maximal strength, where the strength of the group of students of indices I0 to IK is defined by multiplying those students. Return the maximum strength of a group the teacher can create. Okay. One non-empty group of students with maximal strength, where the strength of a group of students of indices I0. Okay. One way to form a group of maximal strength is to group the students of indices 0 to. So you can pretty much choose any indices 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and their strength. Okay, I think we could probably. This is just like some math. We can all positives we want to include, and then we want to get an even number of negatives, picking from the top, from the highest negative values from. So you are given a zero index integer nums representing the score of students in an exam. Your teacher would like to form a non-empty group. It can pretty much be any students. Let me align myself. Center myself a bit. For the shorts feed, people are joining in the shorts feed. Okay, it can pretty much be any indices. Okay, I think we just need to return the maximum. Okay, I think we just need to go for it. So we can positives, negatives for num in nums. If num is greater, and then we don't want to include any zeros because that will just zero out our operation or our group strength. $25 acceptance rate for this? Ain't no way. Um, For positive, in positives, we'll do result times equals. So, of course, we want to include all the positives there. Because if we include all the positives, it's going to increase the rank there, the group strength. I don't see a case where you multiply by a positive integer and it lowers the score, right? Mod 2, if mod 2 is not equal to 0, that means it's not even because we need to multiply it by even number of positives. How many can you choose? You have to pick one. There's some edge cases to pick one. Not. I'm sort of just grabbing the happy path here. Dot sort. Sort. So like the biggest negative numbers are gonna flow up. Sorted negatives. Then what we're gonna do is if it's odd, if odd, we're gonna pop. And then from there, what we're gonna do is um negatives. Why do we need to use a heap? We can just sort, right? So there's gonna be an edge case. The length of numbers. What if it's just a negative number? Then we just need to pick. If the length of positives, what we're gonna do is if the length of positives is nothing, if there's equals 0, then we're just gonna return like and length of negatives is greater than 0. We're gonna have to return the the smallest negative number. So suppose it's all negatives. We just had like negative. Or the largest negative number, 2. So the answer, we just want to return 2 here. Oh, okay, wait. No. For negative. Negatives. Should work. Uh-oh. Oh. Please. Oh, what? Oh, the edge cases. It's the edge cases. Yes, sir. Back in Canada for a bit, like one more week. Then I'm back in SF and it's time to grind. Edge case, if result never updated, return max elements. I like that. Chat is smart. If, uh, let's just do this. If the result updated is false, return max of. Let's go. All right, next question. Anybody got any questions that they want me to solve that they were doing and maybe had problems with or want like a second opinion? All right, 695. Five more questions. Then I'm gonna eat. Then we're gonna go stream a Codeforces contest later today. Oh, Cocoa Banana. I already did that question though. Given a path where path I equals north, south, east, or west, each representing moving one unit north, south, east, or west respectively. You start at origin 0, 0 on a 2D plane and walk on the specified path by path. Return true if it's possible if the path crosses itself at any point. That is, if at any point you are on a location that you had previously visited. Okay, I see. This is kind of interesting. Oh, word squares too? Okay. I'll show you how I solved it, but it wasn't really. It wasn't. I just brute forced that one. Like I did all wrote. I did like a for each. I don't want to look at. I'll show you that in a sec. It's kind of annoying. You pretty much just do exactly what it says. You just check every single square. So it's like a triple for loop or a quadruple for loop where I get all the different edges, and then you have to check all permutations and rotations in order to see if any of them exist or if any of them form a square. I'll show you that in a sec. Let's solve this quickly. So what I'm thinking is we just simulate this. All we need to do is literally simulate this. Start at 0, 0. Maintain a set. If at I like this question for an interview question. If at any point we maintain a set, if at any point we see something we already seen. Okay, I'll try 1627. 627. Dude, that's a hard question. Scene set, we return false or return true. Otherwise, return false. Okay, given a path. Okay, I'll do 1324 as well. What's that? Nice. Okay, I'll try these. So, scene set. And then we're going to be given like north, east, southwest. Start. So we're going to start at x, y equals 0, 0. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start our set with seeing 0, 0. Otherwise, we're going to return false if we can't find it. But what we're going to do is for u for direction or in path. Yo, Piyush, what's up, man? Nice to see you. If direction equals north, we're going to do all 4 directions. Aleph. North, east, south. We do, if we're going north, we do x plus equals 1. If we're going east, oh, sorry, if we're going north, we go y plus equals 1. If we're going east, we go x plus equals 1. If we're going south, we go y minus equals 1. And then if we go west, we go x minus equals 1. If x, y, if the x, y is in scene, return true. Otherwise, we're just going to scene dot add x, y. Something like that. Little quick one. Do I use ChatGPT Atlas? Yeah, I use ChatGPT Atlas because I usually use Chrome, but like for YouTubing, I just use a separate browser because it doesn't. I'm scared to leak PII. Okay, let's try this. Oh, we didn't even time it. All right, 4 more questions. You are given a string S. Return all words vertically in the same order in which they appear in S. Words are returned as a list of strings, complete with spaces when is necessary. Trailing spaces are not allowed. Each word should be put on only one column that is one column, there will be one word. To be. What the heck is this? I get it. Like we kind of just printing it vertically. Why does it look like this though? Okay. This. 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 Okay. The weekly contest, dude, it lagged for 50 minutes. I couldn't even start it. But I ended up making a comeback with the last like 30 minutes left. I was able to solve like two of the questions. I still can't figure out this question though. I need to figure this one out. Oh, people are posting it now. I need to look at this one. Minimum cost to make two binary strings equal. I got close though, I feel, but I'll look at that right after. So I think what I'm gonna do is just like simulate these. I'm good with these simulation questions where you don't really need to invent anything out the box. So I think all you need to do is split the string by white space. Yeah. We just need to figure out the number of columns. So what we're gonna do is we're going to create a result, return the result. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna split s equals split, or s dot split by white space. Okay, there's only one space between two words. Perfect. So I guess it doesn't even really matter. We could just do split like this. That will get us these words in this order. And then all we need to do is we also need to figure out like the num columns. Which is for element in S. The number columns is pretty much the length of the longest for element S. The length of the longest character here equals max of num columns and then the length of element. So that's going to get us the number of columns. And then we just need to loop for I in range. And then we know the rows. We know the number of rows is equal to the length of S. Now we just need to loop through the columns. For I in range number of columns, what we're going to do is result or column result dot append the column. But what we're going to do is for we'll say for C here, and then for R in range num rows, what we're going to do is we're going to loop through every single row. Value equals empty space if damn, it's rated 2000. Okay. Value equals space if C is greater than equal to the length of, let's get the, row column like this. Wait, I need to verify this real quick. I need to remove trailing. Yeah, I need to remove the trailing there. Yeah, I need to remove the trailing. Wow. Something like that. Let's go. Yeah, I could use art strip too. Eight minutes. Yo, Ramen, what's up, man? Okay, let's try this long ass question. How did you solve it so that? Oh, I think I already did this question. I've done this question. Oh, I've only attempted it. Okay, I'll look at that. I'll look at that in a second. Yo, chat. How many LeetCode questions has everyone solved this year? Let's see this. Let's make a poll real quick. How did I do on the contest, bro? The contest was lagging, but I ranked 5709 out of 35K, and then 530. I'm reaching around like 5300 each time. What I get on this one? I got 4000 on this one. 11,000 I folded on this one. But yo, dude, I need to like try to get this one off me. Because that one lagged also. My best ranking ever was 2412. Codeforces or LeetCode for interview prep? LeetCode. Codeforces questions are like mostly mathematical. Like you need to figure out some mathematical intuition and then like try to solve it. But honestly, yeah, I never had to do LeetCode, and I've landed jobs at FANG companies and like pretty much startups and New York companies and stuff like that, just from doing leak code. And only doing 300 questions, honestly. You don't need to do that much leak code in order to get a job. So how? What's annoying? Too loud. Wait, let me look at this one question. Minimum cost to make two binary strings equal. Because I was really, this one got me yesterday. Let me grab some water. Y'all check out this question real quick while I'm, and then we're gonna figure out the solution. Yeah, for Indian companies, which companies is everyone aiming for? What's the state of tech out there too? Like, are people hiring? Are people getting jobs? Is the market frozen? Everyone's trying to get into Google. Rubric. Yo, where's everyone based? Where's everyone tuning in from right now? Turkey? Nice. You're a principal engineer, Ramen in Toronto, India. That's sick. New York, Pakistan, Serbia. This is crazy. Everyone's tuning in from everywhere. Oh, this one isn't that hard? Like I had a similar intuition where I was pretty much reducing it to my weekly contest was okay. I got like ranked 5,000 or something. Only solved 2 out of the 4 though. Okay, what's your code? Yeah, that was kind of my intuition. That was kind of my intuition too. Nice. I like your rating. Are you a knight yet? Oh, you're so close to getting to knight mode, like the knight badge. Either flip all or a swap can fix 2 at once. If they are 0, 0 or 1, 1, we need to first cross 1 and then flip. Yo, I can't understand your code, man. Oh, Ramen, you got knight? Alright, let me review what my intuition was. Let me read my notes. So I noticed flipping will only reduce by 1, or we need a or we can do a swap. If we do a swap, it reduces by 2. Or we can do a cross swap and then swap. How to improve this as someone who is a beginner, you just need to just start doing lead code questions, and once you get to around like 2 to 300 lead code questions solved, you should be in a better place. But right now, it's all about repetitions and seeing more questions. Okay. Yeah, I want to lock in on C++, plus plus, but like if you watch my 2026 goals video, I just don't have time. I'm trying to get a promotion this year, so I really need to focus on that. Okay, let me read some of the intuitions. Identify 2 types of mismatches, where S is 0 and T is 1, where S is 1 and T is 0. Calculates the minimum of 3 strategies. Directly flip every mismatch using flip cost. Resolve CO and C1 pairs using swap cost. Then flip all remaining type matches. Okay, so he's just kind of testing all the different strategies. Resolve pairs using swap cost. For the remaining mismatches of the same type, pair them up using one crosscut to fix 2 at once. You're trying, but you get stuck on linked list. Dude, just spam linked list questions. Watch my video. Have you seen my video on how to get good at LeetCode? That's like, if anyone asks me, I could explain it on stream, but it's gonna take a while. I'll just send you my video on how to get good at LeetCode. Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah, go watch my video on how to get good at LeetCode. Where are you tuning in from? Yo, everyone, go watch my 2026 goals and give me your thoughts, your honest thoughts on it right now. And then also tell me what your 2026 goals are. I'm just curious because maybe then I'll make changes to mine. All right. So how are they doing this? For A, B, and zip, S, and T, if A is not equal to B, we do int A plus equals 1. Yeah, I get 20 days of paid time off. Yeah, I'm a mid-level right now. I got demoted at Rippling, my last company. I was a senior, but I was a senior with only 3 years of work experience. I got the senior role after like 2 years and 10 months or something. So essentially, when Meta hired me, they had to drop me. Shabaj, what up, man? Yeah, they do. That's what happens, Shabaj. It's true. But honestly, a lot of the other people who are seniors at Rippling had like some of them had like 15, 20 years of experience. They like to down level too. It's really all about interview performance. If you do well on the interview, you get a higher role. And I just did well on the interview. And then I was able to just actually perform at that level. Like I went through a performance review and I got like meets. So what is it doing? If it's saying so it's so let me look through this code. So what are they doing is they're adding up number of ones of zeros and ones. Okay? Res1 equals C0 plus C1. Why would you add them? Okay. Flip every mismatch. Resolve C0 using swap cost. Why the minimum? Drop my Discord. My Discord is in the channel. You said I said I became a senior software engineer. Yeah, dude, I dropped a video on this. How I became a senior software engineer. They don't care, Shabaj, but like what it did allow me to do is have like pretty much matched my Rippling pay at my current company. So they care if because Rippling was pretty much about to go public, or is like a very large company, they matched my salary, even though it's like fake, like a bunch of it was fake money. So at the end of the day, like having that senior role helped me make a lot of money. They pretty much gave me exactly the same as I was making at Rippling. So it was like top of the band for E4. Yeah. Dude, working at a public company is like night and day when it comes to saving money. I saved so much money this year from just working at a public company versus working when I was working at a startup. Bro, I just like pushed out so much projects, Assad. Yeah, I'm in Canada right now. Do you feel like your lead code skills? Dude, honestly, the main thing that I did is I was pretty much working 7 days a week. So I would grind all day and then on the weekends I was grinding some more. That's how I got my promotions. I was putting crazy hours in. Yeah, I was doing the 996, I'm not gonna lie. Where did you and I actually where did I learn my system design? I learned my system design honestly from working on projects and working at early stage startups because at early stage startups you learn a lot about you learn a lot about everything down to like the infrastructure to on the database level because you have to touch everything. Nothing's abstracted from you. And then you have to pretty much since nothing is abstracted from you, it definitely helps a lot with system design. I learned most of my system design stuff when I was working at a Series B company. I spent 3 years working at a Series B company. Yeah, that's and then honestly, when I did system design, it was just so easy. The only reason how I got to senior software engineer in 3 years though is because I switched companies and I did really good in the interview that they gave me a senior offer. So yeah, when I was interviewing at Rippling, they were interviewing me for a intermediate position because I only had 2.5 years of experience at the time. And then I did really good on the interviews and the system design that they wanted me to like interview for a senior position. So for the senior position, I had to do like two more system design interviews with like these staff engineers. And then since I cleared, when I was able to clear those, I got the senior offer. That's pretty much what I got. And it was totally like out of random. I wasn't expecting to be senior software engineer, honestly, but they just gave it to me. So I just took it. Did I solve all questions in full optimal? Yeah, I did. How do I know about distributed systems? Nah, not really, Shabaj, but I took I took distributed algorithms, distributed systems. Dude, if you look at my transcript, I took like 30 computer science class. I took no options in college. I just spammed computer science classes. I pretty much did every computer science class you could take. Most helpful courses in school, distributed systems, networking. Definitely like the AI courses will help you think like that. I can start streaming regularly around this time if you'd like, Piyush. Yeah, my favorite was like networking. Obviously, like operating systems. Dude, I took literally every single computer science class you could take, but the ones that stuck out the most is distributed systems. Networking was my favorite. I mean, operating systems, the algorithms classes, distributed algorithms. Just try to take the hardest classes you can take because that's going to set you up. All right, sounds good, man. And I did compilers last semester. Yeah, I've never done compilers. Your first day entry level at Microsoft is tomorrow. Any advice? Oh, nice. Congratulations, man. What I would do is my yo, cause I overdid it, bro. Um, Advice for somebody just starting off at Microsoft is let me think about this. Before I start any of my jobs, I always make sure to prepare for my job. So when I was starting my job at a Series B company, before I started, like 2 months before I started, because it was as a new grad, I asked them for what their tech stack is, and then I built a side project using all of the technologies that they used in their tech stack. And the reason for this is because I don't want to learn those technologies on the fly. I want to be able to hit the ground running when I start my job, because it just gives a first impression. First impressions are very important, honestly, because once people form an opinion about you, it's really hard to change it and it takes some time. A lot of the people who I think are cracked at work or like you have really high regard for, you pretty much get that opinion almost right away. So I think it's very important to make a good first impression, and the best way to make a good first impression is from preparing. And once you get in, just start meeting people, understanding how the business works, understand every what are the different teams, understand everything. You need to focus on also the coding aspect of it. If you're entry level, you should first off just focus on execution. So how do I actually ship code? How do I test my code? How do I release my code, deploy my code, etc. I think when in my first year, my main goal was just execution. I wanted to hit like 300 PRs or like I would all of my metrics that I was tracking against were related to like execution and velocity. Is JavaScript good for leak code? No, it's not. The main reason for that is because it doesn't have any of the common data structures that you will need in a lot of leak code questions, like heaps. Y'all want to solve a hard question? Okay, let's see what this is rated at. Dude, 2,100 rating. Favorite Tim Hortons drink? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Tim Hortons is only good for their regular coffee. All the other drinks, I don't know, cause I'm used to like Starbucks and like other places. So if I'm gonna get a latte, I'm never gonna get a latte from Tim Hortons, personally. Dude, the sun is just straight hitting my face right now. Okay, we gotta do questions rated around. I listen to a lot of Drake. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Drake fan, not gonna lie. What about you? Number of ways to select buildings. Nice. Hold up. I need to quickly move this, close these blinds. You're given a zero index Have I solved this? No. Okay, you're given a zero index binary string S, which represents the type of buildings along a street, where zero denotes that the I building is an office and one denotes that it's a restaurant. Okay, James. Hey, James. I graduated in December this year and looking for a new grad suite. What should I do to prep? I will most likely have a new grad offer from previous internships and get like 100K, but I think it's low. Why did I solve from this level of difficulty? Because my rating is 1641. Let's see. I will most likely have a new grad. 100K as a new grad is pretty is on the lower end depending on your region, but it's still good. I wouldn't be too worried about that. Assad, the main thing is I just haven't solved. I was just solving interview questions, and interview questions are just basic questions. So I haven't really been pushing myself. So I solved a lot of questions, but I think I need to push myself a little bit harder. Yeah, I would say it depends. Like I have no idea what company gave you that offer. If you get 100K offer and if you have 100K offer and if you have 100K offer and you're learning a lot and you see a lot of growth potential, just ride it out for 1.5, 2 years, 3 years to get to that sweet spot. Because I think like the value of death essentially for software engineers is the first 3 years. Because if you get laid off or fall off at any point in that, you're pretty much it sucks. It's really hard to rebound off that. So I think first you should optimize for growth and stability just to pass that 2 year, 3 year mark. And then after that, like every single job, there's options for you. You don't need to land Fang right away. What if you just land Fang in 3 years? Why do you need it right away? What's up, man? What comp do you feel is good enough to feel comfortable? You can make $150,000 in San Francisco and be comfortable and save money, right? But honestly, there's no salary that will make you feel comfortable because you're always gonna want more, honestly. Every time I got a raise, it felt nice for maybe a few months, and then I wanted to get more money. That's just me. Yo, Christian, what's up? I know a few Christians, but are you from Calgary? Yeah, 150K is a good salary. And it all depends on your money management. When I was making 150K, I was able to save money. It was I was able to save money. I was able to spend a lot of money. Honestly, 150K, I could have my savings would have grown very slowly, but I literally could have done whatever I wanted. C1 internship? Yo, it's sick. Okay, let's lock in. So you're given a zero index binary string S, which represents the type of buildings along a street where SI denotes the ith building is an office and S denotes that. Let's see, you're given SI denotes the ith building of office. Yeah, I did good in my interviews. I did pretty good in my interviews. That's why I was asking. I was like, can I try to go for a senior position? And they said there's a hard limit on 5 years for like transfer. Like you can start at the company and then get to senior in like 3 years. But if you're switching into it, there was a hard limit of like 4 to 5 years, and at the time I only had like 3 years. Yeah, I failed plenty of interviews, man. I probably failed like, dude, this one time I had like 6 or 7 final rounds and I failed all of them. But the thing is, I did well in the interview, but they just didn't choose me. I guess some of them I flopped though, but not bad, you know what I mean? I think it's still competitive. Like there's not many interviews where I'll go in and I can't solve the question, right? But there's only like a few companies like that. There was one company that they asked me like some embeddings system design question, some embedded system or some embeddings AI question, even though they told me they're gonna ask me nothing about AI. What company was your hardest? So there's a this autonomous driving company called what are they called? Have you ever done Google? Yeah, I done DoorDash. I had an offer from Amazon. Dude, in DoorDash, I did like all the interviews and I did bad on one question. It was like the one largest integer or something. You just have to like, dude, it was such a stupid question. You had to like figure out the integer, like the largest integer you can make, largest permutation or something like that. That was the name of the question. That was the DoorDash question. It's so stupid. And it was the one question I didn't study because I was like, this question is so stupid, no one's gonna ask it. And then they asked it. If you have 4 internships, do you classify as an entry level? Yeah, you're pretty much an entry level, but you're probably on a path to get to a promotion in under a year. Didn't you do what on Advent of Code? Largest permutation? No. Oh yeah, the hardest interview I had to do was at Applied Intuition. This car, this company. Yo, they're asking me like some 2D geometry questions. There's one related to like physics where I was calculating some velocity. And the thing is, they would ask you 2 questions in the span of 45 minutes and expect you to solve both of the questions, and none of them were on LeetCode. It's cooked. So the other one was like kind of like one of the questions was kind of like merge intervals, but like on a 2D. So they had like a bunch of edges and they wanted to see like which edges would for you can use to form roads and intersections or something like that. It was so messed up. So like edges that like overlap become a road, and then edges that sort of intersected became an intersection. It was like on a 2D plane. I was like, bruh, I've never seen a question like this before. I just straight flopped it. Are 300 quality problems for NeetCode enough for Microsoft? Starting from scratch as fresh grad. Did you already land an interview? Next. Did you apply cold or did a recruiter reach out to me? Dude, it was pretty much like this question, but like next largest integer. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is the question that DoorDash asked to me, and I flopped their interview. Look, it has a 35% acceptance rate, and everyone's complaining about it. If you look at this. Oh no, this one's easier version too. This is easier version. It was like next permutation 3 or something. This is what DoorDash asked me, and then I flopped it because I didn't even solve the question. I need to find it, but it's such a stupid question. But like I genuinely only flopped that question, and some of the interviews I saw, it was a 60-minute interview. I finished it in 45 minutes because they're just asking like simple BFS and things like that. I still didn't get the job. So I think the market is just, you just kind of need to be perfect. Like chat, I never had an interview where didn't blow it out the water that I got an offer. Every time that I had an interview, like only in tech screens maybe that I passed, even though I didn't blow it out the water. But the only times I ever actually got an offer was when I completely destroyed every single interview on the on-site. So I pretty much had to go 5 for 5 perfectly. Have I done Stripe? No, I haven't done Stripe. Holy. Okay. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Do DoorDash require you to run the code after you finish? I've only done like quant like OAs and stuff. For Amazon, I did like a technical screen, then I did like two or three two or three lead code, and then a couple behaviorals. Do you think it'll be enough for Microsoft if interview at March? Yeah. You have January, February, and March. You have 2 to 3 months to prepare. You got this. Beck, like which company are you talking about? Two questions. Most companies is 1 to 2 questions in an hour. Only certain companies squeeze it to 45 minutes because they want to see you type and code as fast as possible. Let me grab some water. Honestly, I haven't been doing resume reviews as much. Is because I work at, I'm starting to do interviews at my current job, so I can't really be giving away the sauce too much, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to help people at a general level, directional level, like competitive program aspect of things, but like actually getting a job, it's not really what I've been doing lately. Dude, screw this question. How is this a 17? Okay, you're given okay, let's time ourselves. 20 minutes. So we were given an array time t. I'll answer after this question, and I'll literally go through everything and make sure. I'll do question. I'll answer LeetCode question. Then I'll spend 10 to 15 answering questions. Then I'll like switch back and forth. You're given an array time t where time I denotes the time taken by the ith bus to complete one trip. Each bus can make multiple trips successively. That is, the next trip can start immediately after completing the current trip. Also, each bus operates independently. That is, the trips of one bus do not influence the trips of another bus. You are also given an integer, total trips, which denotes the number of trips all buses should make in total. Return the minimum time required for all buses to complete at least total trips. Okay? Can make multiple trips. What? Is this easy as just figuring out the max and then timesing it by the total trips? Yeah, I love zero track. Each bus can make multiple trips successively. That is, the next trip can start immediately after completing the current trip. Also, each bus, okay, at time t, the number of trips completed by each bus are 1, 0. At time 2, five trips is 3. Let's see. Okay, how long will it take me? Maybe there's like a binary. Maybe we could just binary search this. Binary search this. We can figure out. We can like at time 5, how many trips have been done? Maybe 5 trips, 2, and 1 equals 8. And then we just move to the left. We could binary search this. For all buses to complete at least. Okay, let me think. Brute force would just be like iterate through time until you hit the time. Update the trips as you go. So nah, but like nah, you probably need a CS degree to get into Fang, honestly. There's one bus. Yeah, there's like a linear equation. I think you can modulo. What would we modulo for? Maybe we can just like figure out random time, then figure out. But what's the range we're gonna binary search on? Probably the minimum times. That would be like log. Yeah, dude, there's like a linear. This is definitely like a linear equation. You're right. Good. Okay, let's see what the hint is. Yeah, it might be telling me to binary search. Oh my god. I looked at the hint though, but it, okay, just implement this. Yeah, I solved threesome before. Yeah, one to min time. Yeah, I agree. Oh, this is a hard question because we're gonna have to like binary search because a bunch of them will land at 5 total trips, but there's like a minimum T, so we could just keep going left. So what we're gonna do is Yo, Stoic, long time. Um, Cost, count, total, trips, self. We're gonna get the total trips, or we're gonna get the times and the time. And then we're just gonna start counting them up. We're probably gonna want to sort it too, from like largest to smallest, or smallest to largest. For time in times. If current time is greater. What we're gonna pass the current if the current times break. Because current time is gonna current we're gonna get like times like 1, 2, 3, and then suppose we're gonna get time 3. If the current time is greater than the current time, we're gonna break. Um, Total trips plus equals time do this. We want to count the total trips. What's the total trips of if we go time at 1? Yep. What about at time 2? Two. Time 1. Time 3 should equals 5. Okay, we're able to count total trips. Now we just need to perform this binary search. That's right, minus left. So we're gonna do like a binary search. So we're gonna do mid. I will do total trips equals self dot count total trips at times time and mid. So what if this total trip returns 6? Do a better name here. If the total trips is less, so 6, and we're trying to get 8, what we're going to do is left equals mid plus 1. Else right equals mid minus 1. If the total trips is greater than equal to target, something like that. Let's do this. Print mid total trips if the total trips is less than the target. If the total trips is less than the target, we need to move it up. I don't know if it's gonna put me in an infinite loop. Oh yeah, it's gonna put me in. Okay, let me look at this. 3, 5. Okay. Get stuck. Oh, I didn't check my mid. Okay. Focus up. That's good. This one returns negative infinity. Holy. Okay, I need to work on my binary search. Nice. Let's go. That's a pretty interesting question. Why? I have this early break. Okay, I need to work on my binary search because I was messing up the bounds. Yeah, you can see the total trips function. I had an early return there before because I was going like this. Dude, I need to work on my binary searching skills. I need to do more binary search questions. All right, two more questions and we're at 700 LeetCode solved. Yo, that was literally like Cocoa Bananas, that question right there. That's the closest thing I've seen to Cocoa Bananas. Cinema seat allocation. Dude, I could barely see that. Okay, let's take a look at this. Where you can search by difficulty and concept. Zero track, that's what I'm using. I don't know about concept, but all right. Let's time ourselves here. Oh, C list? I see. I haven't used that one yet, but I've been getting recommended that a lot. So you're given two string integers, positive feedback and negative feedback, containing the words denoting positive and negative feedback, respectively. Note that if no word is both positive and negative, initially every student has 0 points. Each positive word in a feedback report increases a points by a student by 3, whereas each negative decreases the points by 1. You are given n feedback reports, represented by a 0 index string report and a 0 index integer array student I. Who has received the feedback report? Okay. What pause? No, where's Bopa? Whereas each negative word decreases. It doesn't really let you share links. Bro, this kind of easy question. Just use a hash map. What's up, man? Yeah. Or we could just sort. Okay. For student in student ID. What we're going to do is we're going to get their report. Student report. Dude, the variable names that they chose for like the input is terrible. Or if word in positive, score plus equals 3. This is all about speed, Aleph. Negative, score minus equals 1. Else dot append. Okay, what are we sorting by? We're going to sort by their score, their student ID, and then we're going to also add in their name. Score and student ID. Result.append. No, I'm not learning C++ in 2026. I decided against that because I'm focusing on getting a promotion. Maybe though, we'll see. So, or nice. Dude, I did like that code was not looking good though. Nice. Yeah. I'll get into C++, but right now I'm focused on doing what I do best right now. I'm gonna see where my limits hit, and then maybe like if I get ahead on my ranking, on my rating, then I'll switch to C++. But right now, GPT told me I don't have enough time for that. Okay, yo chat, what should be my 700 leak code question? Chat, everyone throw me. Let me take like a quick breather, 2 minute breather, and I'm gonna solve my 700th leak code question. I'm gonna take a quick breather. Give me a sec. Breather, give me a sec. Raj, what's your rating? Nice. How many contests have you did? I should be at like 1700 by end of the month because I did good yesterday. So I should be at a better place. Yeah, it that was pretty annoying. How's the audio, by the way? Audio is fine. Just check my audio. Yeah, so annoying. I dropped the video in. Nice. Yeah, you did 28 contests. That's a lot. What's the skyline problem? I don't want to do a premium question. What's the rating on this? I think I already solved this question. Yo, chat, be honest. How hard is 218? Do you think it's actually solvable in an interview? If it is, I'll do it for my 700. If not, I won't. Dude, give me a good question that I could solve reasonably in 30 minutes. Dry as hell out here. I had to put some lip chap on. What was a daily? Now, I want to kind of have like an interesting one because it's going to be dropping a separate video. I'm solving my. Definitely solved that question. That's like a classic, classic question. What is this? I do pretty good at like. What is- Rat in a maze. Yeah, this it's annoying that it's doing that. Don't give me the answer. Bro, look, that's just ChatGPT being annoying. You're right, you're right. Dude, let's just pick like from Google to oops. I don't know if I can show that. Oh, these questions are easy. So I'm trying to find a good Google one. I'm gonna be doing Codeforces later tonight. Dude, this editor is kind of annoying. Or this browser. How hard is this question? Okay, let's ask it. Give me give me a LeetCode problem. Dude. Just benefiting all nodes. Have I did this one? Honestly, I think I'm a pretty good prompter. Alright. Screw it. We're gonna take on this hard. Where's path using? All right, whatever. We're gonna take these. We're gonna take these on. What's 1834? Sure, I'll take this. Am I on mute? I'm not on mute. Am I? No, you cap. It's trolling me. Am I on mute? Yeah, you're trolling me. All right. For me, I could hear it fine. All right, so I'm about to solve my 700th lead code question. So I've been lead coding for pretty much since 2019 when I did my first question, but I honestly didn't really do lead code for fun. I only did it to land jobs. So you could see in 2019 I was still in school. 2021 is when I graduated. So I graduated in June 2021. So you could see that was my first lead code grind where I started at the start of the school year and I pretty much did it for most of the school year until I got a job around March. Then I landed my first job here. So I did around 300 questions in that first leak code grind. My first ever question somebody asked was, I don't know, it doesn't tell me. I'll look at that in a second. But pretty much after that, I saw 300 leak code questions to land my new grad job. So in 2021, I really didn't do leak code. In 2022, I didn't even touch leak code at all. I only had one submission. In 2023, I mostly didn't touch leak code except for like week stretch here where I was just doing it for fun. But in 2024 is when I really started doing lead code. And the reason I started doing lead code in 2024 was because I got a job. I was job hunting. So I was job hunting. I ended up getting an offer in July or starting a new job in July. So I was grinding lead code a few months up until I got the offer. So I think I solved like another 200 questions there. So that got me about 500. And when I really started doing more lead code questions was for this channel. I really don't do lead code questions unless I'm interviewing. But since I have this channel where I'm teaching people how to do lead code and showing people how I approach lead code questions, I started doing more lead code. So you can see I started this channel at the end of 2024, pretty much in November 2024. So most of 2025 I was doing lead code questions. And yeah, that's how I got to 700 questions over the span of, I guess, like 4 years, probably 100 to 200 questions. So I haven't really been spamming it. A lot of people might be thinking that I'm wasting my whole life on lead code, but I haven't really been spamming it. I do it for content. I have done it to land jobs. The one thing that I want to improve though is my contest rating. So I've done 5 contests so far and my rating is at 1641. So it takes a bit of time to get your lead code rating up. Like I've even you solve 3 out of 4 questions and rank 2,418 and you only move up to a 1611. So you have to kind of do a lot of lead code contests to get your rating up. For me, it's moving up like 20 or 30 points per contest. So it's probably gonna take me like 10 to 20 contests to get into where I want it to be. But yeah, that's pretty much it So I'm gonna solve my 700th LeetCode question now. That's a bit of context on my LeetCode journey. Look, I don't even have that many badges. It's not really that green. My GitHub is a little bit more green than this. For fun, I'll show you my GitHub. Yo, Alpha! Yeah, like my GitHub was, you should see like when I was grinding 24, 23, 22. Like my GitHub was more green than my LeetCode. But now I'm gonna be focusing a bit more on LeetCode, just so I can get my contest rating up. And I'm not really gonna be focused on LeetCode. I'm gonna be focused on Codeforces. But let's just hop into my 700th LeetCode question. Thanks for everyone for tuning in and watching me do all these questions. I'm probably gonna try to end the year out with 1,000 questions solved. Maybe. So you're given n task where this is the question, and this was picked by one of the subscribers, somebody in the chat picked it out. But our goal here is we're going to be implementing a single threaded CPU, I guess. You're given n tasks labeled from 0 to n minus 1, represented by a 2D integer array task, where task I equals nq time and processing time means that the I task will be available to process at nq time and will take processing time ti to finish processing. Yeah, I can draw this on Excalidraw. You have a single threaded CPU that can process at most one task at a time and will act in the following way. If the CPU is idle and there are no available tasks to process, the CPU remains idle. If the CPU is idle and there are available tasks, the CPU will choose the one with the shortest processing time. If multiple tasks have the same shortest processing time, it will choose the task with the smallest index. Once a task is started, CPU will process the entire task without stopping. A CPU can finish the task, then start a new one instantly. Return the order in which CPU will process the task. I think let me think about this. So we have a single threaded CPU going in time like this. This is the time, and then we have 0, and then probably like infinity. We're given a list of tasks with an NQ time and a processing time. Means that the I task will be able to process at NQ time and will take processing time to finish. Okay, this just tells us when it's available, and this tells us the time. Available in time, okay. Well, we need to return the order in which the CPU will process the task. So we're given, these are the different tasks. In queue time. So this can NQ at time. Let's just list it out. This can NQ at time 1, 2. This could NQ at time 2 and 4. This could NQ at time 3, 2. So this one's kind of easy because like I'm already thinking we might be able to use a heap here to figure out the available times. No available task process. and there are available tasks. So we can have a heap, min heap, sorted by, or do we even need a min heap? We could, all we just need to know is the task available by um start time. No tasks available by start time. We just need to know available task. No available tasks. Right? And first we could just like the available tasks would be the ones with the earliest NQ time. Earliest NQ time. Right? That will be the initial. Earliest NQ time, and then it's gonna be like secondary sorted by secondary sort by processing time. So maybe we can have like a heap to store available, sorted by first NQ time, or no, pretty much just sorted by processing time. Yeah, we could use inbuilt sort by heap with um sorry, let me just um task earliest NQ time, secondary sort. If the CPU is idle and there are no available tasks, if the CPU is idle and there are available, the CPU will choose the one with the shortest. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the ones with the earliest NQ time. Maybe yeah, we can sort. Suppose we had another one. Yeah, because we need. I think we need to keep track of time t. We need to keep track of time t, and t always starts at the lowest index. So this is in Q1 at the lowest time. And then what we're gonna do is it's gonna start at the lowest time, and we're gonna pop everything in the list into available that's equal to less than or equal to the time. So we're gonna have a heap. So this goes into our heap, but it's just gonna be the processing time. It's gonna be the min processing time. And then we're gonna have like the ID. What's the ID? Is it the index? Yeah. So it's gonna be the index. So this is gonna be, we're gonna have a heap. We're gonna have a heap, and it's gonna contain like the processing time is gonna be 2, and the index is 0, like the label. And then what we're gonna do is, since it's the only one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop it out the heap, and then our res equals 0 at first. But then now we're gonna add 2 to the processing time because it's going to pick this shortest one and do it without stopping. So it's gonna this is gonna get to 3. And in our heap, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Now in our heap, we're gonna enqueue pretty much anything whose time is less than 3. So we're in our heap, we're gonna have this one's gonna have a processing 2 is gonna have a processing time of 2. And then what's like the third? Processing time. Oh, we need to like the thing is we need to know like also we need to sort by 2. But basically we're gonna go this has a processing time of 4 and the index is 1. So since this one's smaller, we're gonna do 2 here. And that comes off the heap. And then since that took this will go up to 5. And then now 4 and 1 here. Or 1, 3. Since this is lower, it will actually go like 4. They'll go 1, 3. 0, 2, 1, 3. Or what? Smallest index. Wait, no. Oh no, 3, 3, 1 because this has a slower processing time. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take my task and I'm gonna sort it by enqueue time. My task dot sort by the enqueue time, and I'm gonna reverse it. So I'm gonna get the ones with the largest enqueue time at the end, and I'm gonna use a heap. And then result. And then what I'm gonna do is while length of result is not equal to the length of tasks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have available. This is what's available. This is our heap. So what we're gonna do is let's see. If current time. If length of available is equal to 0, we're gonna do one thing. Else, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take tasks. We're just gonna pop like the earliest thing in there. Let me think. I'll handle the edge cases in a sec, but we'll just pop the earliest task.pop. And then what we're gonna do is that's gonna give us enqueue and time. Processing time. Then we'll do the current in queue. And then we're gonna put in available dot. We'll do heap queue dot heap push into available. Then we're gonna pass in the processing time. Oh, we need to know the index of when we sort. Wait, should we just push them all in the heap at once? No, because we need to know who's available. Okay, I need to figure out their ID. So if it's at the bottom, task length. Let me figure this out. I'm just gonna add their ID for element task. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do for element in the task, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do task.sort. And let's just make sure this looks correct. So we have yeah, 3, 1. Perfect. And then what we're gonna do now is task ID. We're gonna do processing time. Task ID. Okay, and then if there's something unavailable, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop heap pop. We're gonna heap queue dot heap pop. We're gonna pop from our available result dot append task ID. Current time plus equals the current time equals, we'll do that, while the tasks, while length of tasks and task at the 0th index. What is the 0th index? The NQ time, yeah, is greater than or less than equal to the current time. We're gonna add that to the queue. Then we're gonna figure out the edge cases in a bit, but length of task. Or wait. Task at -1. If, so just make sure it runs. And we're gonna grab the 0th index of the last thing. Current time. We'll just set the current time. Let me fix this actually. We could probably pull this out. Wait, what's happening here? Let's see what happened. Did it get anything? 43201? What is it putting in? Or is it breaking? Oh, it's breaking on the bigger case. Okay, let's debug this real quick. So we got the current time. Print. Yes, sir. 20. Plus equals. Print. So we start at 0 and then we get to 1. No, processing time, it takes 2. Why is the processing time? I know there's like some stupid bug right here. Updating the 3. Who sets it back to... Oh, it probably gets set back somewhere. Probably gets set back somewhere here. Or... T push available. What? Oh, because... Oh, it changed in size. Okay. That was dumb. Okay, now I just need to handle... Let's see. It's gonna break. Definitely, it's gonna break in a bunch of cases. But I just need to like quickly fix. Oh, it accepted. It accepted. Honestly, there's probably some cases where it won't work, but it accepted. I have to go for breakfast, so I'm gonna end it right there. I'm surprised that it got accepted. Let's see. But that's my 700th LeetCode question. That was a fun one. That was a good one to ask on an interview, honestly. Single threaded CPU. Let me know if that solution made sense. I decided to use a heap. Took a little bit of tinkering in order to get it to work, but it ended up being accepted. That was sort of my thought process there. But thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the next stream. Might do Codeforces later today, but I'm gonna go for breakfast. Peace.